Matt, before we take a look at Oldham Athletic, how are the players after Tuesday? I imagine there's a few tired bodies this morning.
Yeah, a few tired bodies, but mindset and mentally in a good place. Somehow we got through Tuesday's game. We know our performance wasn't quite where we wanted it to be. But somehow we came away with 3 points and a much needed 3 points to keep us right in the mix going towards this weekend. So like you touched upon there, 48 hours after a game, they're always a little bit leggy, a few aches and pains, a few bruises here and there. But they've got 3 points in the bag, and we quickly focus on picking ourselves up and doing the right preparation going towards the weekend. There'll be a day of travelling tomorrow. Hopefully the M5 and M6 will be kind to us on the way up to the northwest of England. And then a good night's sleep in the hotel before the game, and then we'll be raring to go come 3:00 on Saturday.
I think you said on Tuesday there was a few bodies you didn't want to see at training today. Were they there, those bodies?
They were there, and I got them in, and I got them, the staff, certainly not myself, got them smiling and got them with a little bit of freedom. So, as always, there's sort of two separate groups at the moment, the ones who are playing the majority of minutes and then a training group. And the ones who played the majority of minutes came outside and did a few fun games. They play a game called bucket ball and two touch and a few finishing drills. So just to get a bit of pressure off their shoulders, a bit of weight off their backs, get them smiling, get them breathing in some fresh spring air today, which was really nice to be out there. Sometimes you go out and it's cold and wet and miserable and doesn't help your mood. But the key aspect today was getting them to leave the training ground and the training pitch in good spirits. And despite the win on Tuesday, they probably didn't leave the pitch in as good a spirits as you'd expect. So that was a key aspect of today, and we feel we achieved that. And then it'll be down to some serious work tomorrow in preparation for all of them.
Sam Nombe, I think you spoke on Tuesday night that the news wasn't great. What is it? Can you shed any more on that today? Where we're at of Sam?
No, because it's only 2 days after that. You know what I said on Tuesday. We'll know more in 2 weeks' time. We'll know more in 4 weeks' time. The scan results on paper weren't ideal. Not the worst news you could have had in terms of a tear, but not great news. But symptoms-wise, he's presenting quite well, and we're going to keep on treating the symptoms as opposed to the scan. He knows he wants to play a part from now until the end of the season. How much time we've got will depend on his next few weeks of recovery, rehab, building his strength back up, and putting that hamstring in a position where it's under strain again, so he can replicate game-like activities. And then we've got to assess him. But there's no pressure from me to the physios or to Sam to do what his body can allow him to do. And if that's before the end of the season, then fantastic.
Defensively, I think Jonathan Ground's still unavailable, but Czech Diabate's back. Alex Hartridge is fit again, and Sam Stubbs should be back soon as well.
Yeah, we hope to have Sam available in some capacity come Saturday, as long as he gets through. Okay, good to see Czech back out on the pitch. He showed us up on Tuesday. Looked physical, looked like he moved well. Looked like he didn't have any remnants of that rib injury, that side injury, which is such a big blow at Bristol Rovers. And Alex Hartridge, like you just mentioned, Nate, he's come back in from the outside of the squad or from the bench and played 3 games on the bounce. So that's a big ask for himself. And the mini break on Tuesday night for Sam Stubbs will hopefully put him in a good position for the next few games. I always say almost under the radar, Pierce Sweeney keeps on putting himself out there, and another good performance from himself on Tuesday. So options in defence, as always, is important, but options in all areas of the pitch is vitally important, not just this weekend, but in the remaining 11 games.
On to our opponents then, Oldham. Perhaps looked dead and buried a few weeks ago at the start of this year, but John Sheridan's started to turn it around actually, and they're right back in contention for safety. Yeah,
put themselves in a really good position to challenge the teams around them. I think the last few games have been a little bit unlucky. I was at the Carlisle game, a 94th minute penalty went against them. In the game after that, a last minute winner against them at Swindon, and then they played really well against Walsall on Tuesday night and just came out second best to a couple of really good goals from Walsall. So it's been fine margins at a really competitive team, and probably for the last 6 to 8 weeks since John's took over and got them organised, giving them a bit of structure, giving them a bit of freedom in attacking areas, and they've got a bit of consistency in terms of their better players. You look at their front line, the lad Hope, top end of the pitch, Keller Dunn, Adams one side. They've got good options top end of the pitch, similar to what Crawley had on Tuesday night as well. So we know kind of where they want to get the ball and who's going to really hurt us. And they've got other good players to supplement that as well. But as always, can we implement our style of play on the game on Saturday? One thing I was so impressed with how the community had got behind the football club. I think there was 7,500 at the game I was at against Carlisle. A local-ish game in terms of, but not a direct derby game, but a big game in terms of at the bottom of the table. But the fans were fantastic. They were disappointed that day because obviously a late winner against them, but stayed with the group, stayed with the manager right till the end. And they've got something to believe in. But we've got something to believe in as well. And we've got to believe in our own ability, our own fitness levels, our own performance. Hopefully some of our fans make the journey like they always do. So we'll go there with a bit of backing because that will be vitally important. And we'll go there connected and together. And hopefully we leave in a good place.
I believe there should be about 400 there from it on Saturday. Coupled with what you say about the home fans really getting behind their side, it should make for a great atmosphere.
Yep. I think they're called the Atleticos behind the goal. I think there's a drum in there. They make a lot of noise. I sat behind, in the old stand behind the dugout. The new stand is completed opposite the dugout, which is something which hasn't been there in recent seasons. And we've played there, in the past couple of seasons where there's been no one there due to the pandemic. But we know what it's like when you go up north. To be tough, have to be strong mentally. The home fans, as always, will back the team and give them real support. But that's on the outskirts of what is the football pitch. And the most important thing is our performance on that green grass come Saturday afternoon. We're looking forward to it. We want to put in a performance as much as we were pleased with the win on Tuesday. We're disappointed with the performance. So we want to put in a performance this weekend. And hopefully it's another good spectacle for League Two.